Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1613. Good morning, John Kutcher. Good morning, Gina Putoff. Good morning, Colleen Dracos. Good morning, Marty Blue. Good morning, Mandy Alexi. Good morning, Liz. And Liz Rose. And, oh, good morning, Tom Krabs. And we shall see who comes here later today. However, what I do is every day I give you morsels of a thought of wisdom borrowed from people who are very wise, who have been through their life experiences. And we learn from other people's life experiences, and that's why quotes and other people's experiences and books are so important because they went through all that time and learned something and they taught us so we didn't have to go through all that time to learn it. Now, knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and my fortune cookie said doing the right thing is called virtue. So that is something we can do in the world, make it a better place. When we take care of ourselves, we actually make the world a better place. The chi field gets better. If you don't understand chi fields, just think of peace in the world, peace in the heart. Lao Tzu said peace in the heart means you've got peace in the family, in peace in self first, peace in the family, and then peace in the among neighbors, and then peace in the city, and then peace in the country, and then peace in the world. It starts in the heart. So I got a very bright piece of lipstick on. I felt like hell, so I thought I'd brighten myself up. I swear I feel like I look like hell too, so please forgive me if I do. So Lady Jen du Plessis says, Yin Yang, go get it. And she also said, and well, there's another one she signed too. I got her book 2 times because I met her at Secret Knock more than one time. And anyway, so we are on page 77. This is a book called Launch: How to Take Your Business to New Heights by Jen du Plessis, America's Mortgage Mentor. There was a foreword by Michael J. Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication, and this was an Amazon #1 bestseller. And it was printed in, I don't know when it was printed, but it was published in 2018, I think. It was about 7 years ago. And learning to let go. When we're talking about business, we also have to have helpers, and we ourselves are the finders. We have it's all in the notes. 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 Action, mindset, or trifecta. Only do what you're really, really good at. Only do what you really, really love to do, and only do what makes money sense. Okay, learning to let go is the next paragraph that we haven't read yet. Loan officers become successful not just by what they're doing now, but by what they learn to let go of. I can tell you from my perspective, with my volume, I've let go of a lot of things. A tremendous amount of things. For example, I don't write my own thank you notes anymore. Now, Jen Duplessis, she has this experience. She's like really, okay, I'm going to calm my vagus nerve. Thank you, Colleen Dracos, for telling me that's what it is. You take a deep breath and slowly, smoothly, long and evenly bring your breath down and bring your breath in. Slowly, long, smoothly, deeply, and evenly. Bring your breath in. Slowly, long, deeply, and evenly. Bring your breath out. Do it 3 times. Okay, now, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yanxing. Yanxing, spelled Y-A-N, is the last name, and then the first name is X-I-N. He did a lot of work for the National Institutes of Health. Okay, so now we've calmed our vagus nerve. For example, says Lady Jen, I don't write my own thank you notes anymore. You wouldn't know I don't write the notes because I finally reached a level of trust with my team member who is writing them after they learned my style. I had to let go of running AUS myself. I can just review the findings if I want, but quite frankly, I had to let go of that. Okay, let's take a look. AUS, AUS, AUS. Dang it, AUS. It's in here somewhere. AUS. I had to let go of running AUS myself. I can just review the findings if I want, but quite frankly, I had to let go of that. I trust that my team is looking at the findings and analyzing the loan thoroughly, and that they will alert me to anything of concern. I had to stop participating in every pipeline meeting. It's more important for me to be debriefed in the meeting highlights. It can include both small and large tasks and activities. Free yourself to do the things that you do very well. Think of this as building muscles as you're going up those many rungs, building your muscles and your skills in the areas that enable you to go higher and higher. Remember that every successful loan officer did not become successful just by doing what they're doing now. They become successful because they learned to let go. Here's the question. What do you need to let go of? What are the things that you need to let go of so you can climb the ladder of success? The sooner you do it, the faster you're going to get there. Now, in Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom, we aspire to get wisdom from people who are wise and know the right things to do in life. Now, the right things to do in life, knowing them is a form of wisdom, and then doing them is a form of virtue. And I'm trying to bring more virtue into the world, and today was consecutive day number 1613. Jen's Jots. Lady Jen du Plessis in Launch, How to Take Your Business to New Heights. In page 77, we have Jen's Jots. Let's get moving up. Identify the activities, products, tasks, or partners you can let go of so you can move up to more lucrative activities, products, or partners. Page 78. We are on page 78. Become more successful, not just by what you're doing now, but by learning to let go so you can do the most important thing, bring more business. Wow. You know, what it is she's taking us to new heights. And a lot of us do our business and we have a little circle, we have a small world, and we keep our small world running and running and running and running for years, many years. But what Lady Jen du Plessis is telling us is you got to go out and research for more business so you get more partnerships and you bring your business into a bigger, 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 bigger role mechanisms. Okay. Lean into your practice is page 79. The big idea is play on offense, not defense, what she says. So you can lean into your practice and find more business. You simply can't wait for business to come to you. Now she quotes Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says, my suggestion would be to walk away from the 90% who don't and join the 10% who do. Whoa. Okay. Lady Jen says, being a finder, Finder, capital F, is all about leaning into your business. Being a finder means you initiate business building and lead generating activities every day. What it really comes down to is that you play offense, not defense in your practice. There are thousands of people buying homes and refinancing loans every day. If you are stuck on defense, these customers will go to someone else. If you're on offense every day, talking to people, making contacts, asking for opportunities, the more of the business will come to you. Now, don't notice she says more of. She doesn't say all of. So what you have to do is also be ready to hear no more than you hear yes. I think she said that earlier on. Lean in, she says, lean into your practice so you're in demand and not on demand. Get it? When you're on defense, you're waiting for business and problems to come to you. You check your email, surf the web, or spend valuable time solving transaction issues. You're waiting for something to happen so you can respond instead of proactively doing what is truly important. My mom had a really, really good agent. It was a couple, and this agent would call my mom every day to find out what was going on in her divorce. Just calling her and knowing. And in the end, the buyers of the house that my mother and stepfather were selling um, borrowed from the, what do you call, sellers, seller, buyer, seller loan. So even though the agents didn't get their commission, they did all that work for nothing. But I believe they got paid years later, not right away. Anyway, they were on offense when they worked with my mom, and they did what they did. When you're on offense, says Lady Jan, and leaning into your business, you're presenting yourself in a positive and proactive light. You're meeting face to face with referral partners. You're making your daily first and 10 phone calls. You're networking. You're hosting seminars. You're communicating with clients, and you're holding appreciation events. You're initiating the plays and dictating the action. Now, my mom's realtor, she took us to the beach in Monterey in a group, a bus full of people, her clients and contacts. It's not that hard to switch your style of work from defense to offense. Because Lady Jan says, there are a handful of core actions you can take to put yourself in scoring position, quote, end quote, to find another customer and write another loan. Here's my 5-part game plan for leaning into your business. She's got a 5-part game plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to read them quick and then I'm going to read them separately. Sell first, service second. Join organizations. Learn to sell. Get out of the office. Get organized. Okay, sell first, service second. Sorry for yelling. Anyway, she says, you'll grow your practice when you sell first and service second. If you come to work every day thinking about your transactions in progress, that's where you'll focus your time and energy. If you come to work focused on finding another prospect, you'll direct that same energy into doing just that. Now, I'm not telling you to ignore your transaction issues and administrative details in your practice. Just don't think you always have to tackle these things first. Better yet, let others on your team tackle issues around loans for you. Now, join organizations. Get involved in business and professional groups. Join a networking club, a business circle, or a community group. This will get you out of the office and on the offense. You'll get away from your computer and email, and you'll get in front of more people, more prospects, and more opportunities. Next, learn to sell. If you've transitioned in the industry through the underwriting or transaction processing side of things, you may not have the sales skills you need to bring in prospects and loans. The good news is you can learn to sell. There are resources everywhere that you can tap into, she says. Hire a coach, go to sales training workshops, or read good books on selling and subscribe to sales themed magazines and online publications. You can develop the sales skills you need to spark your practice. Get out of the office. Nothing beats meeting people face to face for generating leads. Set appointments because once you set them, you'll keep them. Pick up the phone and call your referral partners and ask to meet them for a coffee, lunch, or office appointment. Hoping you can get out every week and see people is a poor offensive strategy. It's not just going to happen. If you have appointments set, you'll keep them no matter how busy you think you are. Get organized. That's the 5th. If you're disorganized, you'll spend a lot of time on defense. Put systems in place for everything you do and use the technology and utilities available to you to manage transactions and client communications. I cannot stress how important this part is. I'm going to read this sentence again. Get organized. If you're disorganized, you'll spend a lot of time on defense. Put systems in place for everything you do and use the technology and utilities available to you to manage transactions and client communications. Next, start using the time management technique of time compression to get more done in less time. Here we go. Lean forward. Defense is about reacting to what's happening. Offense is about anticipating, responding proactively, and making things happen. Sure, it's easier to live life on defense. It seems safer and you don't have to put yourself out there, but you're always on your heels and never leaning forward on your toes. That's like skiing. Don't ask me about skiing. I don't know how. Not well. Lean forward, she says. Lean into your business. The more you lean forward, the faster your practice will grow and the more your income will grow. Jen's Jots. As a finder, you must make things happen, not wait for them to happen. Next, lean into your business so you're always generating new opportunities for growth. Now, next, we're in the next chapter. In Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom, we aspire to give you thoughts of wisdom, which is knowing the right things to do in life. And the act of doing them is called virtue. Now, I'm trying to bring more virtue into the world, and little did I know I could do it with morsels of a thought of wisdom. So I started to do it every single day, and this morning is 1,613 consecutive days. So, and it's a short program, so that way it's not taxing, and I still can do it every single day. Today I happen to feel like hell, so I put on shiny things. I couldn't see very well. All I could see was anything that was bright. I once had a psychologist who a researcher in psychology. He was a post grad. He was studying color in psychology. And the morning that I showed up to there, I had a pink outfit on that was bright magenta. It was a jumpsuit, a big jumpsuit that was bright magenta and shimmery. My shirt was a fluorescent yellow, black, and pink design from Fiji Islands t-shirt inside. My socks were a patchwork of different colors, green, yellow, blue, purple. And my, what else was I wearing? I can't remember if it was a scarf or not, but my hands were in my pockets and I said, I'm so sorry I was late. I was very, very sleepy this morning. And the gentleman said, and his wife laughed so hard, he said, well, seeing that Ying Yang has only been able to see bright colors this morning, we can believe that you were very sleepy. And the wife collapsed. So did my ex-boyfriend, my then boyfriend. It was, God, I was embarrassed. But I thought it was funny too. I laughed as well. It was like, oh, yeah. So this morning, I also had a lot to see shiny. So I'm wearing shiny today, as you can see. All right, back to the book by Jen du Plessis. Page 82, Daily Finder Activities, Chapter 4, Part 6. Time block your way to growth. The big idea is get more done and find more business by using time blocking and time compression as a way to keep yourself focused completely on one type of task for a defined period of time. She taught us that earlier. Now she quotes Bird Baguette, B-Y-R-D Baguette with two G's, two T's. Each day you get better or worse. It's your choice. Ooh, I love that. Your daily mission, the author says, your daily mission as a finder should be focused overwhelmingly on one thing, bringing in new leads and business into your practice. We've already established how important that is compared to anything else you do. Since prospecting is the most important thing you do in your practice, you really must follow a daily schedule that is centered on looking for business. That is how you set yourself up for success, by making sure you are consistently doing your most important activities. Now, I started on this. I want to say something here. Pardon me while I pause the book. I want to say something here. Now, I started on this because the secret is that I was overweight and didn't really know it. So I got led to a YouTube channel that was on COVID at the time. Dr. Duck C. Vuong, Vuong, was talking about COVID and how his following was the bariatric um, patients with comorbidities, obesity with comorbidities, that those people were the first to die from COVID. It wasn't the immunity, it wasn't the old people, it was the bariatric patients with the comorbidities. So if you were obese and you had other problems, he said, he called them comorbidities. I just think it's other conditions, other medical conditions or something. Anyway, he said that he was concerned about COVID because of that. And he gave us all the proper information. He also said that Dr. Fauci wrote the book that they came from in medical school, Dr. Fauci, and that the uh, president at that time was, well, they didn't know everything. So then 23 million people got to see Dr. Vuong's first video on COVID. He had a group that was in Facebook, and in Facebook, I didn't have Facebook at the time. I purposely joined Facebook for the purpose of getting there, joined the group, and it was for the price of coffee every day. It was like $27 a month. So it was the price of a cup of coffee at home. So he said, if you don't like it, try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you can cancel. And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. So I joined it. And then they said, this is how you think of your BMI and this and that, and 20, 30 BMI and 40 BMI. And so I go and check my weight and check my BMI and discover that I'm overweight and 29 BMI. And I go, oh, I didn't know I had a problem with weight. um, okay. So I started to listen to him every day with his talks, and he had a very good educational series for about 2 or 3 years. And every single day, he was doing this every single day. He got up to number 1800 or something, 1800 or 1900 days. Well, he asked me and a bunch of other people at the end of that year to start to videotape ourselves once a day, every day for a month, and just come on and bring up some content. And as I came on the first day, I said, well, when you have a problem, when you have problems, back up, go back, stay back, and look at your problem in the scope of the universe. How the hell big is your problem? Look at the universe. There's galaxies, there's uh galaxies, then there's solar systems, then there's planets, then there's countries, land, then there's neighborhoods and people. How the hell big is your problem? It's it's meaningless. It's a speck. So that was my first live show, and it was about 3 minutes long. And I thought that it was, yeah, it was all right. I could keep it, but yeah. And with a few stumbles and running over boulders and things, I got to going, and now I'm on 1613, and people are helping me. People are helping me. People like Jen Duplessis, people like Sherry Schneider, people like, if you want to do something, Sherry Schneider is an author of The Rules, which I've seen, which I'm doing tomorrow. Um, you, 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 Even if you do it for 10 minutes in a day, what happens is it's like you touch your instrument in a day and you wind up playing it for a little while. Okay? Do something. All right. Talk to you later, old Kinderhook. Bye.